Hello everyone, my name is Daniel and I am just a casual sim racer. Today I will be telling you about 3 tracks that Formula One should race at. The 2020 Formula One calendar has been drastically affected by the current global pandemic. This, along with past musings about Formula One schedule changes and what tracks could be added or removed, has led me to make this video. And today I will be talking about 3 tracks, Kyalami, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the Hockenheimring, which should be added to the Formula One schedule. First, let's turn to Kyalami. This track is in South Africa and is currently FIA Grade 2. Kyalami has hosted 21 Formula One Grand Prix Championship races over its history. However, there was an original circuit that was completely transformed in the 90s. The original circuit was built in 1961 and hosted 19 rounds of the Formula One World Championship from 1967 until 1985. The circuit layout was changed in 1988 with only half of the original layout retained. This second version was active for a brief period. A new revised layout, which included a new pit building, was constructed in 1991 and again hosted the Grand Prix rounds in 1992 and 1993. The 16-turn, 2.81 miles / 4.522 kilometer anti-clockwise FIA-graded circuit takes advantage of the naturally undulating landscape, creating a challenging blend of sweeping fast sections and tight technical corners, which makes Kyalami legendary. The average circuit width is 12 meters, with the main straight being 15 meters in width. And the circuit includes full pit amenities, fully ready for any Formula One, Grand Prix race. Niki Lauda was the most successful driver at Kyalami with 3 victories, his last in 1984. Several individuals within Formula One racing, along with Lewis Hamilton, are advocating for a return to racing in the African continent, which is the only continent, apart from, of course, Antarctica, which Formula One does not race at. Kyalami fits this perfectly. Additionally, Kyalami has the historical past tied deeply into Formula One history with its past Grand Prix races that were held there. The circuit itself is rather technical, with only one long straight being the main straight, which would probably turn into a DRS zone. There's another shorter straight, as you can see. However, that would not necessarily be a great option for DRS. But I believe Kyalami would create several natural passing opportunities with the blind hairpin, as well as the technical S's throughout the circuit. This is a track that is not easy to just pick up and drive. But of course, I have only driven the circuit on a simulator and not in real life. But if you watch it on video, you can see that this is not an easy track and mistakes do happen. Considering that this would be a technical circuit that will have natural passing opportunities in a continent that Formula One does not race at, Kyalami would slide in greatly on the modern Formula One calendar, even if it does take a few years for it to be able to be raced at. Maybe as soon as next year, but definitely Kyalami would be a great addition to the 2022 Formula One calendar. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the United States is an FIA Grade 1 racetrack. Indianapolis has hosted 19 Formula One Grand Prix Championship races, 11 of which were the Indianapolis 500. These counted towards the Formula One World Championship from 1950 through 1960. Later, 8 races were held on a road course roval layout from 2000 to 2007, of course including the infamous 2005 tire debacle. Currently, the 14-turn Grand Prix circuit measures 2.439 miles, or 3.935 kilometers. It runs clockwise, unlike the oval circuit, and uses the same pit area as the oval track. The most significant change from its prior Formula One years in the early 2000s is at the old Turn 13, or Turn 1 of the oval circuit. Instead of the high-speed banked corner that gave the Michelin-shod cars so much trouble in 2005, now the road course makes a sharp 90-degree right into Turn 12, followed quickly by a decreasing radius 120-degree left corner, leading directly into a wide-sweeping 120-degree right. This leads into the start-finish line, and the start-finish straight. The track has two long straights that would serve well for DRS zones, and when driving it is just a natural fit for the Formula One cars. Though, passing may be difficult in spots apart from the long straights being assisted by DRS. Michael Schumacher was the most successful driver in Indianapolis, with 5 victories, his last being in 2006. While Lewis Hamilton has the most wins of any current drivers, having won in 2007 during the track's last Formula One race. Indianapolis Motor Speedway may not be a long-term opportunity for Formula One. I know Formula One wants to include another United States Grand Prix race. However, they appear to be looking at venues elsewhere. Though with new ownership in Roger Penske, the opportunity to hold a race is available. One thing that should be remembered is that the Circuit of Americas may be unable to host in Texas. If that is the case, then Indianapolis may be a viable alternative. And if there is just a lack of races available this season for Formula One to fill its schedule, then a second Grand Prix in the United States could prove very helpful. Indianapolis is one of the largest stadiums in the world and is going to be hosting the Indianapolis 500 in August this year, which will give them a great run-through. At 50% capacity, they will still fit more fans in that stadium than in many other racetracks could host in their normal capacities. Because of this, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway will be a great option for the 2020 season and a possibility for future seasons. The Hockenheimring in Germany is an FIA Grade 1 circuit. The Hockenheimring has hosted the German Grand Prix 37 times since 1970, which is the 7th most in Formula One history. The original track was fast and dangerous, with high-speed sections passing through dense forest. The Hockenheim circuit was radically updated ahead of the 2002 German Grand Prix. Effectively, the track was cut in half, and a new section added, linking the now heavily shortened straights and eliminating the long run through the forest. The 17-turn, 2.842-mile, 4.574-kilometer circuit runs clockwise. The straight out of the Nord curve goes not quite half the distance to the old Clark curve before it makes a 120-degree right. A quick, sharp left leads into the Parabolica, a 1 kilometer long, gently sweeping left-hand bend that functions as a back straight. This is a really cool straight that I think adds a lot of character to the new track. This ends in a very tight 160-degree hairpin, which is a great passing opportunity. After heading back towards the pits, the cars make a gentle right-hand kink, and after another short straight, take a very tight 90-degree left-hander before making a sweeping right and head into the stadium section, which has remained relatively unchanged from the 1970s. Michael Schumacher has been the most successful driver with 4 victories, his last in 2006. Lewis Hamilton, once again, has the most victories of any current Formula One driver, with 3 victories, his last in 2018. The fact that Formula One does not race at Hockenheimring for the German Grand Prix is a travesty, especially because they don't hold a German Grand Prix at all. Hockenheimring has produced great racing, which you can see if you look back through videos. You can literally see last year's race, 2019, was a fantastic race. It often rains, and even if it doesn't rain, close racing is often a sure bet. Mercedes is the most successful team in Formula One right now, and yet in the 2020 schedule did not have a German Grand Prix race. Hockenheimring has already announced that they would be able to host a race this year and fill in for the now altered Formula One schedule. This is a great opportunity and Formula One should take it. But also, Formula One should find a way to add one of the most prestigious circuits back to the calendar and ensure a long-term contract. These are 3 of the tracks that I think Formula One should add to their schedule once again. Kyalami should be added in the near future. Indianapolis could fill in great this year, and the Hockenheimring should be added immediately and secure a long-time deal. All these tracks have a great Formula One legacy, and I hope that we see at least one of them return to the Formula One calendar here in the near future. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.